How did it feel? Felt harassed, frustrated, all the bad things? You actually need to pay us. This is a school of hard knocks. Yeah, this is the best experience you'd ever get. Yeah, but I'll start by saying that I was actually quite impressed, despite my facial look. I know, I was quite impressed. All of you actually did quite get a good grasp of the issues that we were looking out for. And I have to commend you. Frankly, I think at your level when I was in university, I didn't even know what that was. So seeing you putting your head on the chalkboard is really a good thing. So just by way of feedback, one of the things that I think came out clearly was time management. And I don't think a lot of us do get an opportunity to know what it means. So let me just give you like a little example. Imagine your company has been called to pitch. You've been chasing this big contract, and finally you get the call. Then you're supposed to go and do a 10-minute presentation. This is the contract of a lifetime. You're probably lagging behind targets. And when you go there, you know, you find that after 10 minutes, you've not really said what you wanted to say. How would you feel? Disappointed? Maybe your boss would actually really want to kick you out. And so that's the essence. The essence of making this whole session quite 10 minutes. One of it is actually to put you under pressure, to know that sometimes it's good to just focus on what the key issues are. I know some of you wanted to go through the cases and tell us about it, which is a good thing, but the important point is to ask yourself, I've got 10 minutes. What is it that these guys want to hear? What is it that I should concentrate on? Yeah? And that is practical. Every time, if you come for an interview and I ask you to explain something to me, but then, you know, you scatter around it, you're not sure, then, you know, you're eating your time away. So I think it's something that you need to work through. It's something that you need to practice on. The other thing, in terms of confidence, I think you guys are doing quite well. Is it generation, it's called Generation Z? Generation Z. That's very good. I like the confidence. And even sometimes when you fluff over your words, you know, take a moment, breathe in. It's never that serious, eh? It's never that serious, okay? Now, I think as far as the cases went, you tackled a lot of the issues. I think maybe one or two things that would have loved to see. One, I think one that has been broadly mentioned is the duties to employer. Remember, you have a core duty to your employer. And if you think about the CEO who's a CFA charter holder, she signed to the Code of Standards and Ethics. She knows what is supposed to happen, but she's not providing guidance. So this is a firm essentially that, in the strict sense, shouldn't even be operating. Yeah, they shouldn't even be operating. So that was something that we needed to see. Duties to supervisor, I think, also came out, but not so strongly. But I think in terms of the other technical things, you really put your foot forward. So what I would probably encourage is that spend time interacting with the ethics, with the standards of ethics. Is something, even if you never ever get to work in the finance industry, what it does is that it gives you a framework for wherever you go. You're always going to have a framework that you can implement on, okay? And I'm sure most of you will probably be in the job markets in a year, 2 years. So this is something that you need to take with you. Judges, did I miss something else that... So yeah, so it was a good presentation. I know there was a lot of hard questions asked, but not to worry about that. Just work on presentation over and over. You never really quite are perfect. Come over, present, ask your friend to ask you what is happening. And I noticed also that a lot of us were speaking very fast. Sometimes, just take it slow. Don't be in a hurry. Just be slow and deliberate, okay? Now, it's really, we had a tough time trying to determine who the winner is. We had two teams that were the clear runners, and you know, it was a hard decision, but eventually we've settled on one team. So the runners-up team was Team C. A clap for them. And the team of the day was Team A. A clap for them. Yeah. So we hope to see you again. We promise not to make the sessions any easier. At least I promise not to. If I'm here, I want to make it harder. And you know what won't kill you? Yeah. What won't kill you will make you stronger. So all these guys, will probably meet them in interviews. But if you've gotten used to being knocked and being asked that question, I think it's the best school that you'd ever get. Okay. I don't know any of the judges have anything else they want to say. Maybe. Yeah. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming and congratulations to the winning team. Mine is just one little bit, not exactly directly related to ethics, but the presentations. Time went into those presentations. It was quite visible, and there was creativity in them. Just a little improvements. One, Team A, I like the creative idea on candles, but I don't know whether the height signified the importance of each specific standard, but that was creative. And for some other groups, it is important to note how we lay out the presentation. You want your audience, or the presentation helps to guide you through what you would like to share with your audience. Therefore, crowding it with too much words, what happens is that the audience gets distracted and will be reading your screen as opposed to listening to you. So that's just something to take note of, but I think generally, and also maybe a bit of color, at least I noticed the color on some presentations. I don't know if my fellow judges noticed. Sometimes the background swallows the wordings, and the contrast is not very clear. So that's something also to take note of in future, just for some minor improvements. Thank you very much.
Just want to wrap up with, we need to hand out trophies. I want to congratulate the winning team once again. Round of applause for them. I want to thank our judges for doing a great job evaluating. I want to thank the sponsors, NSC, and who are also the hosts. And I want to thank our volunteers and the overall society. Thanks for all their support to organize and hold this event. An announcement, there's an award over there that the society has won for having the highest candidate growth and the highest member growth in the EMEA region. So I guess we should all be proud of that accomplishment. Just a couple of words on ethics. My background is as a quant, so it's finding a problem and applying numbers to it. But ethics is something that very often you can't apply numbers to it. It's just something that you know when you see it. Although if something goes wrong, often then you can apply numbers in terms of the money that's lost. But you know, I would say now this is probably theoretical, but in a long career in the finance industry, I'm sure that you'll eventually see some questionable behavior. And as long as you can, hopefully you'll be able to distance yourself from it and just, you know, stay within the rules, but not just stay within the rules, but do what is right. And your responsibility to your clients and to your firm and to your colleagues in the industry, that's the gray area, I guess. And that's, again, not something you can put numbers on, but it's something that will allow you to sleep at night. So anyway, it's again, I think that hopefully this exercise was valuable, and I hope that you learned from it. So I guess I'll hand out the, if the students can come up to receive the trophies. Each of the students of the winning team receive one, and there's also a trophy for the school itself. So bring it back. So, once again, thanks to everyone. And have a great day.